you gonna tell them?
Oh, you want to hear about this? All right. In the last year or two, aluminum, or aluminium as we say in Australia, has become very popular as a building material for sailing boats. Delos is building a big boat down there in Australia, Sailing into Freedom's building in Vietnam, Sailing Nahoa is building a big boat too. Odd Life Crafting, Distant Shores, all aluminium boats. Everyone's saying how great it is as a building material and as a substrate for sailing boats. After owning an aluminium catamaran for 10 years, I think it's about time someone told the truth on what it's like as a material for a sailing boat. We're going to talk about corrosion issues, of course. We're going to talk about how hard it is to keep paint on aluminium boats. And we're going to let you in on a little secret, which we've been holding for 4 years, when we nearly had a complete loss of Jupiter² because of this. Scary shit.
Hey, you crew. If you guys haven't met us before, I'm Jamie, and this is my wife, Princess. For the last few years, we've been traveling around the world. Well, almost. We began sailing around the world on our super awesome aluminum performance sailing catamaran, Jupiter². 4 years of full-time sailing, all the way from Asia, Africa to the Americas, until we ran out of money. For me, it was back to work, which, to be honest, ain't too bad. But we need a place to live and we need to keep exploring. Only one answer: RVing America.
Well, we're just hitting the road, 6:30 in the morning, on the way to Jupiter.
Yay! We're heading to Mexico. Yay!
Yeah, we're going to be down there for 5 days. So we got a carload of stuff. I mean, it's mainly tools and, well, no, it's everything really. It's bedding, it's crockery, it's cutlery, it's no food, but...
Yeah. Oakley's food, yeah.
Some of Oakley's food. But yeah, because we can't remember what we took off Jupiter, and whatever's there may be covered in dust, you know, so we sort of bought some clean stuff. So it's 3.5 hours down there, and so we should be there by lunchtime.
Yeah.
Missions. First of all, we got to get power on Jupiter. Yeah, we got to hook up the batteries, and then we got to charge the batteries, and Jupiter has no solar panels. They're all on Momo. So, got to try and get some shore power working, which apparently in this boatyard is a challenge. We've found it to be a challenge before. The nearest power point will be like a long way. And then by the time you get the power to your boat, it's like 105 volts or less. And it's... Anyway, and our boat is 220 volts, so we have to go through a transformer, so there's losses there as well. Only works half the time. Anyway, that's a challenge. Water, we're actually bringing our bladder full of water. I don't know what customs are going to say about that. They're going to say, what's in there? Say, agua. And they're going to go, bullshit. Yeah, they think it's either drugs or whatever. Anyway.
They can taste it.
Yeah, see how we go with that. And then we're going to start doing some maintenance on Jupiter.
Yeah, we're gonna meet the guy who's gonna weld Jupiter.
Yeah,
What's
so
his name?
Gary, we'll meet him today. He's going to look at jobs on Jupiter to do a bit of welding.
Yeah.
Appreciate his help.
Thank you.
Or anticipate the
Thank you, Gary.
appreciating his help. And we'll let you know later on, list of jobs we got to do on Jupiter.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, but there is a very interesting one, and that's where the welding comes in. So
Stay tuned.
we'll let the cat out of the bag later on. That's how we do it.
It's a bit dirty in this side. That's why I don't like it. Aww, why they put us here?
Because we don't move. That's...
Oh, we need a ladder back. Careful, babe. How's it look like? Dirty? Okay, I'm done. I changed my outfit. And we're inside the Joopy.
You could have waited for me. Anyway, yeah.
It's a bit dusty.
Can't be surprised. Although, I did put the
I know, right?
window in properly, so
How can they go inside?
how does the dust get in here? But it is a challenge. This yard is a challenge. Power, I was correct. It's about 2 kilometers. It's in the next yard, and we have to go buy extension cords because we don't have enough. We got 3. It's not enough. We're gonna need a lot. First, I got to get stairs, a ladder, so we can get up and down easier. And I'll work on electricity and water. Like maybe I'll do water first, so that maybe you can start hosing off.
What happened, babe?
Well, I was thinking, I didn't leave that cord on the floor there. Where's that come from? You know where it's come from?
No. Holy shit. What?
We used this to tie onto the end of the halyards, and then we pulled all the halyards up to the top of the mast so that the rope didn't sit in the sun, you know. The halyards, all the halyards I've run to the top of the mast so that all the ropage is down here, and also inside the boom bag I've stowed all the ropage and replaced them with this line, which hopefully won't break.
Oh my god.
1 year later,
Oh my god.
all of our halyards are at the top of the mast.
Well, that's the halyard in there.
Yeah, how do we get the other end? It's at the top of the mast. We need a crane or something to get up there. I mean, unless we find some young, wiry climber dude who can just shimmy up the mast and get them without any protection. Because we pulled them all through and stuffed them into the bag, you know, keep them out of the sun.
How are we gonna go?
I would have thought that would have lasted longer than 1 year.
Holy shit.
It's all right. It's a problem for another day. Well, the Winstons are nearly back in. As in, it's been a while since I've thought about any of this wiring, you know. Got balances and I hope it all works. Anyway, it's been a challenge today. We've been going for about 5 or 6 hours.
Ugly!
The biggest challenge was getting electricity to the boat. I had to go buy some more cable. It's the other side of the yard is the nearest power point, so we've got power here now. Before I can plug in the inverter, I need to have batteries. So got about an hour of daylight left and I'm working hard. But Princess was working hard.
Yeah.
Cleaning, and finally when I got power, actually we used the power station, the Blue Eddy power station, to run the pressure washer. We got water happening. It's very, very weak flow, but at least it's filling the tank right now. So then we can use our pump and then we'll have some reasonable pressure to have a shower. Pretty tired though. It's sort of a little scary dealing with electricity when you're tired. All right, moment of truth. We have power.
Yes.
That's the water pump, yeah? Should prime. Shit. What's that? Uh-oh.
It's leaking. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
That's the water maker plumbing. Just deteriorated. I'll have to blank that off. That's for the flush, yeah? Alright, I'll blank that up. No big deal, easy fix.
What's with the helicopters?
Are they coming to get me?
Okay.
Hey, crew!
Hi, crew.
Guess where we are?
I know. It's obvious.
Yeah.
Ugly where we are.
So we arrived yesterday. Get off the table. Thinks he owns the place. Oh, he wants to be in frame. Okay. So we arrived at Jupiter yesterday. It is a mud fest. Well, it's not mud yet. Well, it is because we put water on it, trying to get the dirt off. But it's become livable, I think. Now, including dust, we have hair. Biggest challenge yesterday was to get power, as in electricity, to the boat. Because we're on one side of the yard, like the fence is just there. The nearest power point is the other side of the yard.
Yeah.
So I had to go buy the hardware just up here. I bought all the 3-core cable that they had, which luckily is long enough within a few feet of reaching Jupiter. We're actually pulling the electrical cord in through the window instead of to the shore power cable. But we have electricity. Yes! And I hooked up the batteries.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
all still
water,
works.
yeah.
So that's a win. Today is a big day.
Yeah.
We have a guy another cruiser, who's offered to help us out with some welding.
So we met him last night.
Yeah, he came across last night to have a look at the job. And the job is something we've never told you. He doesn't even know. Back on the Great Loop. We were in the Great Lakes. I think we were in Lake
Detroit.
Huron. Yeah, we're in Detroit.
Yeah.
We had a drama. Near nervous breakdown drama. So this happened to us on the Great Lakes. We were in Detroit. And, well, let's just roll the footage from 4 years ago. Hit it.
I thought we did something wrong.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, guys.
Have safe travels.
Thank you.
We've just had disaster on an aluminium boat. Or near disaster. This close to disaster. A paint thickness close to disaster. It's alright. A really learned lesson, I guess. So we use muriatic acid or hydrochloric acid for putting down a toilet to remove the build-up in the scale. And we had guests on recently, so Princess put the bottle of acid in the cupboard, and the cupboard's not, it's not flat bottom cupboard. So anyway, it's tipped over the muriatic acid and it's spilled into the bilge. And we now have a hole in our aluminium. And it's only the paint that's holding the water out. So yeah, the bottle was in this cupboard up here, tipped over, has melted the hull, and that's the primer. It's gathered in the bilge as well. I don't know what damage is under the water yet. All I've done is just filled it
with water, rinsed off the acid or diluted the acid. So, you know, today I've got to find somewhere to haul out.
And how are we gonna fix it?
And you know, well, we've got to weld a patch. So we need to find an aluminium welder. We need to find a huge travel lift. These are all small boats here in the Great Lakes. So it's pretty hard to find a travel lift.
If we have a paint in the bilge, it's not gonna happen.
Well, this, yeah, exactly. If this was painted, it wouldn't have happened. Because the acid doesn't eat paint, doesn't eat plastics. I mean, even I didn't. I mean, I had it in there so that it's in a plastic bottom compartment. So if it did spill, it would only go into here and then get flushed out. But we're just really lucky, baby. We're just really lucky that it didn't start flooding the boat, that's all. Ow! So, of course, we want to get hauled out as quickly as possible. And I've made a few phone calls, and the biggest issue is our size, our beam. There's so few catamarans or multi-hulls up here that they just don't have travel lifts for the beam that we need. We had trouble in East Coast America as well. Helpful marina guy mentioned that not only that, there's a time limit too. We're end of August now, is it 23rd or something? 1st of September, as a general rule, is the beginning of winterization. Marinas are not hauling out boats for work, only for winterizing, to stay the year, stay the season. Anyway, he's given me a contact. I'm waiting to hear back from the manager of another marina, and they do have a travel lift big enough, so they're over in Lake Michigan. So we've still got 300 miles to get there. I think we'll be okay. We may slap on some fiberglass, just in case, you know, because it's the layer. It's probably this thick layer of paint, which of course is not structural in any way. So that's the deal. They did suggest a commercial marina has a travel lift big enough, but a quote recently, he said, was $75,000 for a haul out. So we can't do that. I'm waiting to hear back. It's nighttime, of course, in Australia. I'm waiting to hear back from the designer, builder, to see what he thinks we could do as a temporary repair. If we can feel comfortable in temporary repair, whether it's, you know, a few layers of fiberglass, which is likely to be what it is, then we can probably get down to Mexico and deal with it at those prices, I think. That's what I'm leaning towards at this point. I'm guessing it's about this big, the hole in our boat. Only paint. Now, some fiberglass on the back. But anyway, let's fix this.
That's it.
That's the hole, so that's fiberglass. There's only that little bit of paint on top, holding a lot of water coming in. That's a lot, that's a big hole. That's 4 layers of cloth. And there's 5 inside, so that's 9 layers of biax. So I'm going to stick some aluminium in a container, pour some acid on it, and see how quickly it reacts. Because it may have just happened in the minute. This damage could have happened. Let's go check that. Now, you know, we use this in the toilet.
every couple of weeks I give it a little splash, so we're just going to be careful we don't get it on our skin. There's the sizzle.
That's it.
But how quickly? Pretty quick. Well, that's just surface so far. Make sure you don't breathe the fumes there, B. Get a poker. So that's just surface, you know? That's not deep. So it must have been happening over days, or 2 days, let's say. See, there's no. I would say it'd be just drip, 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 drip. Maybe when you heard extra sizzle, it had squirted a little more than normal. It's made a little dent, that's all. Oh well, now we know. So it's not eating fast. So it certainly didn't happen just this morning. It's been happening for the last couple of days. Alright, so let me show you some of the corrosion here. This is another problem with aluminium, is that it's painted and it chips. You can see paint chips. So you are always chasing those. Chips the paint. None of this is going to sink the ship. It's just cosmetic, but it's the problem with aluminium.